going to read, going to the library, and we are going to check out books. It's my favorite one. I read it to you.
It's hard to believe that 2008 marks 46 years of the first Berenstain Bears book, and the rest, well, that's all history. So how many of the Berenstain Bears books do you like? Speaking of history, Burton Bar Central Library has an exhibit you won't want to miss. The Berenstain Bears Out West. It's on display right now. You'll learn
the instructions to do a book.
And see a sneak peek of the story behind the story, the real Berenstains and their journey to create these Berenstains that you and millions like these first graders have grown to love. Tell me what's your favorite book by Berenstain Bears.
Brother Bear goes to his first school. The Berenstain Bears and the Fiddler, because I read it every single time at Moya School.
The goal of our exhibit is to connect children to art and literature. The exhibit shows kids the 15-step process of making a picture book, and what we try to do is relate it to them in a very personal way. How would you write this story? How would you illustrate a book? What kind of animal would you be if you were writing a story about your family?
That's just it. Berenstain Bears are all about family. You experience while they experience daily situations life throws at us. You'll notice similar characteristics in Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Sister Bear, and Brother Bear that you might see in your own family.
I think there's something very comforting about the Berenstain Bears, especially for younger children, because it is that family environment and the strong parental role models, and about children making mistakes sometimes, or their parents making mistakes, and everything works out in the end.
But they're also funny too, and real to life.
The Berenstain Bears are timeless because they're writing about everyday family things, about going to the dentist, about the first day of school, about a new baby in the family. So there are things that children relate to in 1960, in 1970, 80, 90, today. Those books are just as relevant as when they were written.
Papa Bear sometimes acts a bit goofy, but has a fierce love for his family. Mama Bear is the stabilizing force who keeps the family together, while the two cubs are exactly that, cubs being cubs. The creators behind the books are a husband-wife team, Jan and Stan Berenstein.
The Berenstein story is a love story, and it's incredibly charming how Stan and Jan met when they were just 18 and fell in love. And they used to like to go to the zoo on dates and sketch the animals, and their bears were always their favorite. And they used to say they picked bears for the Berenstain Bear books because they could stand up on their hind legs, they looked good in clothes, and they were just fun to draw. They worked every day of their lives together, so closely. And Stan passed away, but Jan continues to write those books with her son Mike. Their son Leo has also written some of the books. So it was just really a very sweet family adventure.
Just think, an innocent love story wrote its own story. This one, the Berenstain Bears books. Today, more than 260 million books are sold worldwide. For many, they say it's a legacy and a walk down memory lane.
Well, one of my favorite books is called Back to School, and I love that book because it also talks about, like going back to school and, all those good experiences and feelings, like of the first day of school maybe, or coming back to school. And I do remember, listening to those, or even myself reading those stories to my students, and they loved them.
Hey, look,
Teachers say it's also important for kids to make connections. Reading provides this, and so does the exhibit.
Well, that makes it special because they think about it. Okay, well, I'm writing, I'm drawing, I'm coming up with my ideas, but not only that, I'm publishing. They're publishing my work. I get to, like a hard copy, I get to take this home and share it with my parents, with my family, with my classmates, you know, and that's something, you know, that they're going to keep there for life. And who knows, we might end up having writers, you know, some of my students might become writers in the future.
So if you'd like to sample the magic for yourself, Berenstain Bears is where it's at. But you'd better hurry up before this story comes to an end. Lisa Acquafredda, Inside Phoenix. Why is it so cool to write a book? What do you think's cool about it?
Drawing pictures and doing everything, coloring.